tell you what, man, I came into Christ when I was 13, and man, I grew up thinking that I had to do all of this stuff to make sure that I got in, like I've said before. And man, I think it's when I turned 40 I realized that, man, that whatever I do is not what makes a difference. It's what the cross has done, what Christ has done in our place. And so I've been saying that I've got this kind of new perspective of the gospel, but maybe it's not so much that, because I don't think the gospel has changed. The gospel has been what it is from the beginning. I think my perspective of who I am in Christ has changed. And I believe with all of my heart for most of my life that I was a wretch, and that I couldn't be, my heart couldn't be trusted. If I chose on my own, I would choose wrong every time. And I made a full-time job of standing on stages like this and making people feel guilty about themselves, thinking that if I made you feel bad enough, you'd run to the cross or something like that. And I would pray prayers like, God, we stink as human beings. We're awful people, God. We're nothing without you. That last part is true. But what if it's possible? What if Christ was standing there screaming, because of this whole big deal I made on the cross, you are now a brand new creation. You used to be unrighteous. You used to be unworthy. You used to stink pretty good. But the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead now dwells inside of me 24 hours a day. And so my perspective of who I am has changed. I never quite understood who I am in Christ. I thought I was a bad person trying to be good, because the enemy would just be in my ear every day reminding me of the things that I have done wrong and how I am disqualified because of all of that stuff. And that is not the gospel. Because that Spirit that never leaves us, it has a voice as well. And it's constantly reminding me that I am holy, I am righteous, and I am redeemed, not because of what I've done, but because of what Christ has done for me. I'm not a bad person trying to be good. I am a child of the risen King who is holy, righteous, and redeemed, who will wrestle with the flesh. I will win some and I will lose some, but it can never change how Christ sees me, because the cross has done it all. The cross has dealt with sin. The cross won. And I believe there are people in churches all over the world that feel the same way that I have for years. That you hate what you see when you look in the mirror because you thought you had to be perfect and you kept banging your head against the wall because it cannot be done. Religion will tell you to get it right. Grace says, I will be there when you cannot. And I've met so many wounded people within the church that can't find an answer, that can't make sense of it all. It is a crying shame when you meet someone who doesn't know Christ, but sometimes I think it's just as tragic to meet those who do, who still feel like they're in bondage. You have inside of you, if you know Christ, the ability to overcome anything this world throws your way. You've had it the whole time. He withheld nothing at the cross. It's not an Amway deal where he's saying, if you live a good life for 6 months, I'll give you more of me. You got it all when you called his name. A lot of us just don't realize it. And we bargain with him, okay, God, if I do this, if I'm good this, if I do this, can you do this? It doesn't work that way. It's like we've had that Batman utility belt around our waist but never looked down. It's like, what? Has that been there the whole time? Yep. Because the Spirit has been in you since the day you called his name. And last time I checked, he does not leave. He doesn't say, you're having an off day, so I'm just going to step out, you get your act together, and I'll come back in. If you know Christ, you're a child of the risen King. That is the greatest news of all. And there's songs that we've written over the years that I might, if I had a chance to go back, I might rewrite them because my perspective has changed a little bit. But every once in a while, you land on one before you even realize what you're saying. And this next song is one of those. It was written years ago for my daughters. I got 5 kids, and I've got a boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. It was so funny because we played a big Catholic convention a few months ago, and I said I've got 5 kids, and they were like, rookie. I said, I'm trying. But man, it's like a circus you don't want to leave in my house. And my oldest son is Sam, and then there's Gracie, who's 11, then Charlie, and then there's 2 more that are younger, and they're awesome too. And their names are Sophie and Miles. I'm sort of kidding. I don't know if you have a lot of kids or not, but man, when you have a lot of kids and like you have to go to like the pharmacy to get medicine because they're sick or whatever, and they always ask what the date of birth is, that's like an SAT test for me. It's like I panic and just drive off. Forget it, we'll just rub dirt on it.